Hey all, welcome back to the channel, and I am so very thankful that you're here today. First things first, I want to give a huge shout out to each and every person that has shown some love here on the channel. We just passed, as of this recording, the 4,500 sub mark, and onward, upward, time to keep growing. But we're going to take a little step back in time today to Transformers Robots in Disguise 2015 in a mold that I never ever looked at here on the channel. I did see it in store, but for somehow it always managed to get away from me. There were other priorities or whatever the case may be. Who am I talking about? None other than Strongarm. And she's going to be our focus this time around in the latest GotBot True review. Hey all, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, man, please like, comment, share, of course, subscribe while you're at it. That's right, man, light them up, baby, and please hit that subscribe button, stick around and have some fun with us here on the channel. You can check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all my social media links, all of that down in the description below. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link, check us out on Patreon, see what we offer to you through Teespring, or of course hit the join button right here on YouTube to become a channel member, baby. And this is the Robots in Disguise 2015 Strongarm. Now, I never looked at this mold when it first came out. I liked it. I thought it was, I liked the character. I liked the show, even though a lot of people give it a lot of flack. But it always eluded me for whatever reason. Like I said, other priorities or whatever the case might be. I didn't get around to getting her. So enter Maximal 10. And some time ago, he gave me a number of things that we're still going to be reviewing here on the channel. Some gems from olden days. And this is one of them. Is she good? Is she not good? I really don't know, because I've heard good, bad, and ugly about her. So without any further ado, how about we head over to the table and take a closer look at her. And so things are about to get kind of interesting here, but we're going to do this one quickly because we don't have a box, we don't have instructions. This is on loan to me by friend of the channel, Maximal 10. I've never, ever looked at this mold. I know we're going back in time a little bit with Strongarm. I was always interested to see this mold, so I kind of appreciate being able to look at it now. Now we're going to start her out in her vehicle mode, which is a bit different than usual, but this is the way that I have her now, and why not all these years later. The vehicle mode is okay for accuracy, certainly not perfect. The blue here on the side, there should be a thin white line that comes along, angles up and comes along the side. We don't have that. On the top there should be more blue that separates the light bar. We don't have that. Under the edge of the window there's a thin blue line. We don't have that. And kind of the all-spark blue color like we have it here on the headlights, but it's not as much as it should be. There should be some on the bumper as well. So it's definitely simplified in terms of coloration in the vehicle mode, but like it's alright. You know it's Strongarm. She is a police van SUV type of thing. Again, also her wheels aren't colored in. I think they're supposed to maybe have some all-spark blue in them as well. But like, it's fine. It's fine. It rolls great, and you will notice that I don't have the accessory visible anywhere. You can plug it in here on the top, but I like to put it on the side underneath. Speaking of her accessory, what we've got is this nicely molded blaster, all in black. It has a blast effect that is permanently attached. I don't know, blast effects before blast effects were cool. Okay, so with the blaster off from down underneath, we can get into the transformation, and it's, honestly, I think it's an interesting transformation. So we're gonna turn her around to face me, because I find beginning here on the very front with the like bumper piece and the grill is the easiest way to go. I really wish that they'd colored that grill. A lot I could forgive, but I really wish that the grill was colored. And we bring these arms down, and we can fold in this panel here, and it becomes part of the forearm. It's the front of the grill and the lights, and it folds in and becomes part of the forearm. I think that's so clever. I like that. Then we kind of come here on the side. Remember, I'm doing this with no instructions, so it's a bit of an adventure as we go through here. We pick those wing pieces up, and we pick up the entire backpack. Now, interestingly, you'll notice that there is a pinned hinge up here on the shoulder. That pinned hinge needs to go folded forward, and then you bring the chest up. And this has the shoulders kind of up in the correct position. Then we rotate the waist, and we flip out her feet, I keep wanting to extend the legs, but the legs are fine. And then here on the back, I guess if you want, you could leave it down, but why would you want to do that? Bring it up over and kind of bring those in, I suppose. It depends on what you want to do with them, but basically, boom, in the end, and I'm going to have to clean her up, but in the end, here we have Strongarm in her robot mode. And with a few things cleaned up, I like her. I mean, I don't love her, but I like her all right. Let's kind of start with some of the coloration going from the feet up. So the toes should have some black on it. The cuff around her ankle that's blue, it too should be black. Her knee pads should be black. There should be a little bit of allspark blue on her waist. The detailing on her chest should have more line detailing to it, like there should be more white and blue interplay there. On her forearms there should be a little more blue, and I think her head sculpt is actually pretty great. The shoulders arguably should have more blue than the white that's on them, so it's definitely in the spirit of the character. However, the paint is definitely lacking. I'm going to say it's about an 8. You definitely know who it is, and the love was definitely put into the head sculpt, but it could have definitely used more. Now, here's a good example and a good lesson about values. She retailed for $19.99. She comes in at 94 grams of plastic. Big for deluxe / warrior class. Modern day ones, of course, we know are much smaller. However, I will admit that the engineering on modern day offerings is better, and in most cases, the paint is there. For example, you take something like Kingdom Cheetor. Now, I think that they skimped out on too much plastic there because there are parts of him that feel so fragile and thin. However, undoubtedly, he has more articulation than her, and undoubtedly, he has more paint than her. I think that they could have given up some of the mass for those other bells and whistles. Maybe not as much as what they gave up. So she's hefty, she stands great, she's easy to pose, which we're going to go through, but her look starts off with an 8. And what about that? Well, let's do the transformation. What about the transformation? I think it's clever. I loved the transformations that were done in RiD 2015. I thought the engineering was really clever. Not overly complicated. And there's definitely things that are done now that are a bit better. But, you know, like the way that her arms fold up is really clever. The rest of her conversion pretty simple. You can flip her back and forth. She's a great desk bot. I'm going to say it's about an 8 as well. What about the articulation? Because we have an 8 and 8, not too bad. We have a head that can go left and right, some up and down. There is light piping here, but it's pretty mitigated by like the plastic on the back of the head. The shoulders, like they can go up and down and all the way around and well out to the side. And we have a very deep elbow and we have a swivel. No wrist, but the axis for the two shoulders is the same, so when you move one arm, they both want to move. I think that that's too bad. The backpack is a nuisance. It doesn't really seem to peg in unless I'm doing something wrong, but you can store her blaster back here, which is nice. It also goes in her hand, no problem. She does have a waist that's pretty free-flowing, and the legs can go forward and, if you got the blaster the way, all the way back. And she can do splits all the way out to the side. We have a thigh swivel. We have a knee to at least 90. And toe forward and back. Nothing to the side. So wrist would be nice. The ankle would be nice. It wasn't part of it at the time. Again, I understand why she came in costing a little bit less, even though she had bigger mass, because the engineering is somewhat simpler here. I do wish that there was a way to really solidify this backpack in, but I don't see a way to do it. Again, I'm going to say that you can do most of what you want with her. She's pretty articulated. She stands well. She scores a good pose. I'm going to say that it's an 8.5. To be higher, she would have needed a wrist and she would have needed ankle tilt. That's something that I guess in the modern age we've come to expect. 8, 8, and an 8.5. Overall, I'm going to say she's at 8.1, maybe an 8.2. She is a pretty fun transformer. She is a pretty great Strongarm. And here we are once again, here she is. So, first things first, the articulation is pretty good, not perfect. The mass and the heft is great. The feet are tremendous for balancing her on for a number of poses. Some clever stuff with the transformation, especially with the arms and the way the forearms kind of fold and unfurl. I like that. I do wish that this was handled better, but I think that's a common gripe that a lot of people have had. I don't know, like it's... I can live with it, but it's unfortunate that the backpack just sort of frictions up, I guess. If I'm doing something wrong, which is possible with no instructions, I don't know. The coloration is definitely fine. What's done looks great. It's just what done is a little less than what they had on the actual program. This is most definitely an example of where I see the trade-off of mass with newer offerings for kind of hinge and swivel joints instead of ball joints, for a couple of added points of articulation and for better paint. So I get it. At the time, I think she was worth what her asking price was. Definitely not anymore. She's all right. Is she perfect? No. Are there things that could be done to improve her? Absolutely. And maybe one day they will be. But I think it was a fun character, a fun series, and this was a fun offering. Let me know what you think about Strongarm, as imperfect as she might be. I appreciate you guys coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use that donate link. Check us out on Patreon. See what we have to use through Teespring, or of course, hit the join button right here on YouTube. Become a channel member. While you're at it, hit the subscribe button. Stick around, baby. Have some fun with us. And don't forget that somehow, some way, each and every single day, you do make a difference. And I look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit. Either in the live streams on Thursday nights at the stop motion premieres, or the old fashioned way, baby, right here inside the videos.